lose hunger, running wild and living free, riding high on that carousel, so my love could go for you.
Bikertv is brought to you by Parts Canada and Drag Specialties. We support the sport. Metzler ME880 Marathon, what Bikertv rides on. The Dealey Motorcycle Exhibition, Vancouver, BC. Welcome to Bikertv, by bikers, for bikers. This week on Bikertv, we're back in Leamington, Ontario for more flat track racing action. We're riding with Jen in BC for the Great Canadian Bike Rally. Plus, we're rolling with the Windsor HOG at the Heritage Village Toy Run. But first, tech tips with Wally.
Welcome to Bikertv Tech Tips with Wally. This week I thought we'd talk about torque wrenches. I know some of you people at home do a little bit of home mechanicking on your bikes. Very important if you're going to do that though that you use a torque wrench. What I'd like to do is kind of go through what a torque wrench is. What is a torque? Why do we need torques? You know, we could build a basic torque wrench out of just a wrench and a fish scale. If we talk about torque, we have what we are concerned with mainly is inch pounds, foot pounds. What is a foot pound? Well, if we had this wrench and this wrench was exactly a foot long from where it went on the fastener to back here, we would have a foot. If I take this fish scale and hook it onto that wrench and pull the wrench until the fish scale reads 10, I would have 10 foot-pounds. If I change the length of the wrench, it's going to change how much force I have on the fastener. So if I made this wrench 1 inch long and did that, I would have 10 inch-pounds. 12 inch-pounds equals 1 foot-pound. The next torque wrench I have is a beam type. It's a little less expensive torque wrench than maybe some of the other ones. The way this wrench works is we put force on it, the beam moves to one of these numbers on the scale. At that point, that's how much torque we would have on the fastener. It torques in either direction. The more common torque wrench that you would find in a mechanic's toolbox or a technician's toolbox is this click type torque wrench. This is a foot-pound torque wrench. Now let's just look at some of the important aspects of using this style of a torque wrench. What's going to happen with this, we'll set it to the proper torque that we would like. We would lock it so it stays at that setting, doesn't move on us. Very important that we would grab it by the knurled handle so we don't change the length of the torque wrench. And we're going to pull it in one even sweep, and when it gets to the proper torque, what's going to happen? It's going to click. There's other times when you may have a little bit of trouble getting onto a particular fastener, and you may have to use something like this that's going to allow you to get into a little smaller area. So if you have to use something like this, what you want to do is bring it off to the side. If you bring it off to the side, it's not going to really change your torque. If you have it out like this, there's a formula that you'd have to go through to calculate how much that would be changing your torque. One area that we use this torque wrench a fair bit in the Harley-Davidson world is when we're adjusting the rockers on a Springer. We tighten them up until we have a certain amount of force to move them. So we would use this and we'd pull the rocker through its arc and we could actually see how much force it was taking to move the rocker if it was adjusted correctly on the Springer front end. Getting up in the price range a little bit, this is an electronic torque wrench I have here. And it's a little more money than these other ones, but if you're buying torque wrenches, we see now that we probably need an inch-pound one and a foot-pound one. This torque wrench is electronic. We can adjust it. We can adjust this torque wrench to do inch-pounds, do foot-pounds, do Newton meters. So one torque wrench does everything. We would adjust our torque, and when it gets to the torque, you will hear an audible sound and the torque wrench will vibrate. So you can see from what we've talked about here that torquing is really, really important. Where do you find the torque specs? They'll be in your service manual. You shouldn't be working on your bike if you don't have a service manual to start with. So check your service manual, torques will be in there. They'll usually give you a range. It might say from 8 to 12 foot-pounds. A safe way to go is to go to the middle of that. So if it was 8 to 12, go to 10. That way if your torque wrench is out of calibration a little bit, you're going to be right in the middle. But you know what? If you don't have the manual, you don't have the torque wrench, take it to your local dealer, maybe a better way to go.
After the break, we're back at Leamington, Ontario Flat Track Racing.
It's the #1 training facility for motorcycle mechanics in Canada.
The course here is amazing. The teachers are amazing. This is where it's at.
Dragon Jeans, what Bikertv rides in.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps feed kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. We have parts, accessories, and lots more for all makes of cruisers, V-twin and metric. Canada's largest selection of helmets and clothing. Shop our website, shop by phone, or visit any one of our huge superstores. Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Toad Cycle Works, doing it right since 1979. G. Bork, give us a call. Trucker Television, celebrating life on the road. Advanced Screen Printing, t-shirts, and a whole lot more.
The Bikertv National Show and Shine. West, Sturgis North. East, Thunder in the Highlands. Central, the Bikers Reunion. The Bikertv National Show and Shine.
Closed captioning by Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
It's just fun to come out and hang out.
There's a whole bunch of different classes, so yeah, anybody can get in, but depends like what you want to ride, and you know, yeah, like a lot of young people can get in. It's just they'll start out in a smaller class and then they'll move up.
What do you race?
An 85.
Very cool. How have you done so far today?
Pretty good.
Been racing for about 13 years, 7 of them professionally, and currently leading the Canadian National Points Series after being off injured last season. Harley has pretty much dominated, you know, since they got into it. They've spent a lot of, they've had a lot of teams and a lot of different riders and a ton of championships, you know, both here. I mean, it's pretty much the bike of choice, and, you know, Canadian or American series. And, you know, for me, it's my favorite bike to ride. It's a V-twin, Harley-Davidson, XR 750 motor, pretty much almost the same as the XR 750s that used to be in production by Harley. A few minor changes. The whole bike itself is basically built from scratch. It's twin carbureted. It runs twin carbs and basically really old, original kind of Harley technology. You know, a good one pushes around 95 to 100 horsepower, but the big thing about them is that they have big torque and they've got the ability to actually hook up the power. You know, that's Harley's biggest advantage, is being able to hook up the power that they put out, whereas the other bikes, you know, they struggle. I think any type of racing, like cars, bikes, you know, tires are key. Knowing which tires to use for the track surface and whatnot. Especially having a nice fresh edge for the main event. I feel the pressure once in a while, you know. I mean, riding the Harley, I couldn't pick a better bike. I mean, anywhere I go, if I can ride it, if the rules allow me to ride it, it's usually my bike of choice, just because I have so much fun riding it. But you know, Dealey's been behind me through everything. You know, they supported me last year when I hurt myself, and you know, they've basically pretty much made me able to do the things I've done in the past 3 or 4 years with their support. The biggest thing that, you know, I think gets you started, for me, I was lucky because I had Welland, you know, 5 minutes away from my house. I think just having more tracks is really what we need in the years to come. You know, we've lost some good tracks up here, and the series has kind of shrunk down a little bit from what it used to be, but you know, everyone that was around through all of it is still here for the most part, and everyone wants to keep going with the sport. You know, as the old guys start dropping out, you know, they got kids basically just waiting to be old enough to get back out there and ride. So, you know, I think it's always going to be here.
After the break, we're riding with Windsor HOG for the Heritage Village Toy Run. Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Hip Cycle, expert Harley-Davidson service. Hog Haulers, don't leave home without your chrome. Creative Chaos Tattoo, not for the weak of heart. Dino Tunes, Motorcycle Tuning Center.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps feed kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
advanced welding techniques. Training for success. Come see our new virtual training lab at advancedwelding.ca.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser. Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. New Moon Tattoo, professional tattooing for over 25 years. The Ottawa Mission, more than a shelter. Chelsea Chimney Sweeps, sales, service, and installation. Road Dog Asphalt, honest, reliable service.
This is our annual toy run. We've been doing this for a lot of years. Yeah. Raise money for the Windsor Homes Coalition.
Of Windsor Homes Coalition, so I'm the one who puts on the program with the Hogs and Kelly this year.
Kelly? Okay, so what have you done today?
Woke up really early, froze. We did all the registrations, we grabbed all the toys, we're holding the 50-50, the door prizes, stuff like that.
And so you have a lot of toys here?
Yes, I'm very excited.
Started working for this organization has opened my eyes a lot more to not just people riding bikes, but what they do for the community, and that was a lesson learned in not just seeing people riding around in leather jackets or what, but that they're doing a good cause for the community, and so yeah, that was a lesson learned.
The Harley Owners Group. The Harley Owners Group in Windsor is the oldest Harley group in Canada. Chris O'Neill from Thunder Road Harley-Davidson originally started the group, and we do a lot of fundraising, and we have a really good time. We've got a really good group of people.
And I hear that you started the Harley Owners Group here in Windsor?
Yeah, back in 1985. Yeah, and it was just a small group of us, about 12, and
how many members now?
I think there's well over 100 members now. We've been doing this toy run now since I think around 88, 89 we started doing the toy run.
So what's going on here at the Heritage Village?
Well, we're just gonna sit down and mingle with everybody, have some lunch, and give out some door prizes, and do our 50-50.
Let's wait for the bikes to come.
Yeah.
They'll be cold.
So how was the run?
Oh, excellent. Excellent. A little cool, but
Had a great time.
Yeah?
Good ride. Real good ride.
There's quite a few of us actually in the chapter, women that ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 or 6 of us, I think. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So what are you riding?
Softail Deluxe. That's my baby.
She's pretty.
Yes.
So how was the run?
Excellent, excellent. Yep, quite a few water puddles. Sorry, I'm frozen. Water puddles, but mainly it was a really nice ride. A little windy, but good.
It's to represent motorcycling for all of this area. So any make, model, doesn't matter. And it was the building we built is a replica of the original Windsor motorcycle. It was like 1946 what we had pictures of. Okay. So we used that as our base for our design of the building. So tried to keep it as close to that era as we can. And starting off small. Eventually we'll hope to put an addition on the side of the building, and then we'll have a whole wing of our own.
Okay.
Once we get more bikes in, it all takes time, right?
Well, it's a fun place to be. You got in with the Harley owners group, and yeah, it's a fun group for sure.
After the break, we're riding with Jen at the Great Canadian Bike Rally.
Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader. We have parts, accessories, and lots more for all makes of cruisers, V-twin and metric. Canada's largest selection of helmets and clothing. Shop our website, shop by phone, or visit any one of our huge superstores. Why pay more? Check us out. Royal Distributing, Canada's power sports leader.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Askicker Custom Cycles, parts, sales, service. McNeely and McNeely, legal services for accident victims. BCOM, fighting for bikers' rights. Chrome Dreams.
It's the #1 training facility for motorcycle mechanics in Canada. The course here is amazing. The teachers are amazing. This is where it's at.
Dragon Jeans, what Bikertv rides in.
Trucker Television, Canada's hottest new show.
My grandpa's a trucker. He helps feed kids like me.
Canada's hottest new show, Trucker Television.
Choose one of our existing audio kits or design your own at hogtunes.com. Hogtunes, audio solutions for the great American cruiser.
Special thanks to Royal Distributing, clothing, parts, and accessories. Hip Cycle, expert Harley-Davidson service. Hog Haulers, don't leave home without your chrome. Creative Chaos Tattoo, not for the weak of heart. Dyno Tunes, Motorcycle Tuning Center.
The Bikertv National Show and Shine. West, Sturgis North. East, Thunder in the Highlands. Central, the Bikers Reunion. The Bikertv National Show and Shine.
This actually stems back to the Active Mountain organization that has been putting on the Mountain Music Festival every year for the last 17 years. I also love to ride.
Yeah.
And
compared the two.
Yeah, that's right. So we just felt that Merrit is so central. It's naturally a haven for motorcycle enthusiasts. We see them coming through town all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we've got a combination of things that we've always felt that Merrit would just be perfectly suited for this type of an event.
Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling down that open road. Keep on rolling. Keep on rolling. Keep on. Down that open road. Years and years, Milwaukee Steel.
He was 3 years old when I started him riding, and then I built his first seat. I put him up there. I took him for a ride. The next day we walked out there. He jumped up there and sat down.
No way.
Yeah.
Just loved it. Hey, the wind in the face.
It's his bike. It's like I tell everybody, if he had thumbs and a credit card, I'd never see his company bike.
That's hilarious. He knows. It's so great. I love it.
And then you have to put a tether on, because when the helmet flies off on the freeway,
yeah,
and you turn around to go back and get it,
yes,
it really messes people up.
Oh, for sure.
Down that open road. Keep on rolling. Keep on.
I'm with Belt Drive Betty and the Busted Knuckle Chronicles.
Okay.
And I live in Medicine Hat, but the paper is out of Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie. And when did Busted Knuckle Chronicles start?
Oh, geez.
How long has it been in production?
Over 10 years.
Across the valley. Across the valley.
Okay, so we started in Merrit.
Yep, and from Merrit we took 5A north to Kamloops. This follows a beautiful route through the mountains and the lakes.
And then on the way back, which way are we going?
On the way back, we're going to be leaving here. We're going to take the Coquihalla south to 97D.
Okay.
And we're going to head west to Logan Lake. And from Logan Lake, we're going to head south on 97C.
That takes us back to
And that'll take us back to Merrit.
We wanted to try and keep it broad and appealing to just about any type of motorcycle enthusiast, from the young to the old, whether you're into you know, riding a hog or a crotch rocket, or dual sport is really popular in this area.
Yeah.
We had the BC Supermoto organization up here and holding races, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
We've got incredible trail systems in and around this area.
You were telling me, how many years have you been riding?
About 45 years.
45 years. So when you rode, there was no women out there.
No.
And so how did you feel when you go up to, you know, a bunch of guys all sitting in a parking lot like this, and then you get off the bike, and did you feel intimidated ever, or were they pretty welcoming at that time?
They were actually pretty welcoming, and they were actually more shocked than anything that a woman would be on the bike.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
You probably earned a level of respect that other women didn't have that were on the back at the time.
I'm absolutely blown away by the number of volunteers that have stepped up.
Yeah.
And so there's that whole dynamic of, you know, for the first time learning to work together with volunteers. Everybody's stoked. And we've made it really clear that the first year is the classroom. You know, the second year we'll be able to really start to
gain momentum and keep it going. That's great. Well, we can't say enough about the entertainment. You brought in great entertainment for first year, and that attracts people, of course. But then word of mouth. After being here, I can see how organized everybody is for a first year event. I'm amazed.
Keep on rolling down that open road.
Next week on Biker TV, tech tips with Wally and more of the best of Canadian motorcycling. Bikes, babes, and rock and roll. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the road on Biker TV. Biker TV is brought to you by Universal Cycle, Cape Breton Bike Fest, Sydney, Nova Scotia, Sturgis North.
When we were younger, lived life from a storybook to fill virtue's hunger, running wild and living free, riding high on that carousel, so my love could grow for you by the sea at Cap.